Good morning, students. This is our chapter for economics for class 10th, and it is a revision for the chapter Poverty as a Challenge. Students, as we know that we have talked about that what is all about the poverty and the people who used to call poor. So, as a short, we are revising the chapter that poor people are the people who have not fulfilled their basic amenities like three times basic foods and other basic things, as they are not having the proper sanitation facility. They are lagging behind in terms of hygiene and proper meal three times. They used to call the poor people. When we talk about the reason that how the poverty affect the people, so we have gone through the above cases of poverty, and we have already discussed that these are the issues which are related to poverty. In India, the people who are not having any land, they called landless. The people who are not having the employment, who called unemployed. The people whose family size is so bigger, as they are having more than 4 to numberless people in a family, they are used to call poor people. The illiteracy is one of the major cause for the poverty. The labor, basically the child labor, the child who are you can say who are below the age of 18, they are used to work for their meal in the factories and dhabas. So this is also signify that that particular child is belong to the poor family. Next, poor health and the malnutrition. The people who are suffering from poor physical and mental health and who are not having the proper diet, they are come under the poor people. And last but not the least, the helplessness. The people who are not help themselves economically, they are used to call poor people. Now, these are the people who call the poor. Now we will talk about that how the social scientists see the poverty in the case of India. Since poverty has several facets, social scientists see it through a number of indicators. Usually, the indicator used to relate to the levels of income and consumption. But now, poverty is measured through different other social indicators such as illiteracy level, lack of general resistance due to malnutrition, lack of access to health care, lack of job opportunity, lack of access to safe drinking water, sanitation, etc. Now, poverty is analyzed on the basis of social exclusion and vulnerability, and they have become very common. Now, the two term has come that first is social exclusion. What is social exclusion? According to this concept, poverty must be looked in terms of the poor who have to live only a poor surrounding with many other people who are excluded from enjoying social equality of better off people in better surrounding. In usual sense, social exclusion can be both a cause as well as a consequence of poverty. In a broad sense, it is a process through which individuals or groups are excluded from facilities, benefits, and opportunities that are enjoyed by others. Their betters. In India, working of the caste system is typically example in which people belonging to certain caste are excluded from equal opportunity. Social exclusion thus may result into but can cause more damage than having a few low income. So, social exclusion and vulnerability are two concepts which has given by the social scientists to measure the poverty. Now, second is vulnerability. What is vulnerability, students? Vulnerability to poverty is a measure which narrates the greater probability of certain communities such as members of backward caste or individuals such as a widow or a physical handicapped person of becoming or remaining poor in the coming years. Vulnerability is determined by the different options which are available to the different communities for finding an alternative living in terms of assets, education, health, and job opportunity. Further, vulnerability is analyzed on the basis of the greater risk these groups face at the time of natural disaster such as earthquakes, tsunami, terrorism, etc. Additional analysis is made of their social economic ability. to handle these risks. In fact, vulnerability narrates the greater probability of being more adversity affected than other people when bad time arrives for everybody, whether a flood or an earthquake or simply a fall in the availability of jobs. Now, poverty line. Poverty line is a measure to identify the number or the type of people who comes or who used to call poor. When we say poverty line, when poverty is discussed, at the center of the discussion is usually the concept of poverty line. A common method that is used to measure poverty is based on the income or the consumption level. If the income or consumption level of a person falls below a given minimum level necessary to fulfill basic needs, the person is considered as poor. What is necessary to satisfy basic needs vary at different time and in different country. Therefore, poverty line may be differ with time and place. An imaginary line is used by every country that is considered appropriate for its existing level of developmental and its accepted minimum social norms. For instance, the United States, a person who does not have a car may be considered poor. In India, owning a car is still considered a luxury. When the poverty line is determined in India, a minimum level of food requirement, clothing, footwear, fuel and light, educational and medical requirement, etc. are determined for subsistence. These physical quantities are multiplied by their price in rupees. At present, while estimating the poverty line, the formula for food requirement is based on the desired calorie requirement. The needed calories are provided by the food items such as cereals, pulses, vegetable, milk, oil, sugar, etc. The needs of calorie differ depending on age, sex and type of work that a person does. In India, the accepted average calorie requirement is 2400 calories per person per day. In rural area, 2100 calories per person per day in urban area. People living in rural areas engage themselves in more physical work, and so the calorie requirements in those areas are considered to be higher than urban area. The monetary expenditure per capita required for buying these calorie requirement in terms of food, grains, etc. is revised periodically, and while doing so, rise in prices is taken into consideration. So, it is all about the poverty line. Next, that how we count the vulnerable groups in country. What are vulnerable groups? The proportion of people living under poverty line is also not same for all social groups and economic categories in India. Social groups which are scheduled caste and scheduled tribe households are most vulnerable to poverty among the different social groups. Comparison between developing countries, several international organizations such as the World Bank use a uniform standard for the poverty line minimum availability of the equivalent 1 billion per person per day. Now, poverty estimate. How we estimate the poverty? It is evident from the table that in India there is substantial decline in poverty ratio from 55% in 1973 to 36% in 1993. The proportion of people below poverty line further went down about 26% in 2000. And if the trend continues, people living under poverty line may further come down to less than 20% in the coming few years. However, it must kept in mind that although the percentage of people below poverty line is declined in the earlier 2 decades, the number of poor did not decline and remained stable around 320 million for a fairly long period. A significant reduction in the number of poor to about 260 million is indicated in the last estimates. Now we will talk about what is interstate disparities. There is another aspect or dimension of poverty in India. The proportion of poor people is vary in different states. Although a secular decline in the poverty at the state level has been observed from the levels of early 70s. The success rate of reducing poverty different from state to state. Recent estimates reveal that in 20 states and union territory, the poverty ratio is less than the national average. On the other hand, in states like Orissa, Bihar, Assam, Tripura and Uttar Pradesh, poverty is still a serious problem. As the graph 3.2 illustrate, Orissa and Bihar continue to be two poorest states with poverty ratio of 47 and 43% respectively. In the states of Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, the rural poverty as well as urban poverty is very high. Now, in comparison, a significant decline in poverty has been noticed in Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and West Bengal. The states of Punjab and Haryana traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty with the help of high agricultural growth rates. More focus was given on human resources development in Kerala. West Bengal succeeded in reducing poverty through the reform measures. In Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, public distribution of food grains could have been responsible for the improvement. Now we will talk about global poverty scenario. In developing country, the proportion of people living in extreme economic poverty, defined by the World Bank as living on less than 1 billion per day, has declined from 28% in 1990 to 21% in 2001. Although there has been a substantial reduction in global poverty has been noticed, it is marked with great regional differences. In China and Southeast Asian countries, poverty declined substantially due to rapid economic growth and massive investments in human resources development. Number of poor in China has come down from 606 million in 1981 to 212 million in 2001. In the South Asian countries, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Bhutan, the decline has not been so rapid. Though there is a sharp decline in the percentage of the poor, the number of poor has declined only marginally from 475 million in 1981 to 428 million in 2001. Due to different poverty line definition, poverty in India is also shown higher than the national estimates. So global poverty scenario, that when we discuss all about that, how the in underdeveloped and developing nation people are suffering from the poverty line. Now then, anti-poverty measure. How? What are the measures which have introduced to stop the poverty, to balance the poverty line in nation? These programs are known as anti-poverty measure. One of the major objective of Indian developmental strategy is the removal of poverty. The current anti-poverty strategy of the government is based broadly on two planks. First is promotion of economic growth and second, targeted anti-poverty program. So, in India, the government of India decided to balance the poverty in India with the help of two programs. First program is known as promotion of economic growth and second is anti-poverty programs. Now, in a span more than 30 years that lasted up to the early 80s, there were little per capita income growth and not much reduction in poverty. According to the official poverty estimates, it was about 45% in the early 1950s and remained the same even in the early 80s. Since the 80s, India's economic growth has been one of the fastest in the world. The growth rate jumped from average of about 3.5% a year in the 1970s to about 6% during the 1980s and 1990s. The higher growth rates have greatly helped in reducing poverty. Therefore, it is becoming evident that there is a strong relation between economic growth and poverty reduction. Therefore, it is becoming evident. Now it is proved that there is a economic, you can say there is a strong relationship between the economic development and the poverty reduction. Economic growth widens opportunity and provides the resources required to invest in human development. This also encourages people to send their children, including the girl child, to the school in hope of getting better economic returns from investing in education. However, for the poor, it would be difficult to take direct advantage from the opportunities created by economic growth. Moreover, growth in the agriculture sector is much below expectation. This has a direct effect on poverty, as a large number of people live in villages and are wholly dependent on agriculture. So, this is all about that how, in the circumstances discussed here, it is evident that there is a clear need for targeted anti-poverty program. Although there are 50 several schemes that are of formulated to affect poverty directly or indirectly, some of them require our attention. These are Narega. Then the act promised a minimum 100 days assured employment to every year to every rural household in 200 districts. After that, there are the other program, that is Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, also introduced to give the opportunity for the self-employment. Then it is all about. So the summary of the chapter is that we have studied that poverty has several dimensions. Normally, that is measured through the concept of poverty line. Through this concept, main global and national trends in the poverty are analyzed. But in recent years, analysis of poverty is becoming rich through a variety of new concepts such as social exclusion. In the same way, the challenge is becoming bigger as scholars are trying to broaden the concept into human poverty. So, students, this is the last chapter of economics, and you have to prepare for the main examination also. In economics you are having basically 3 chapters, so for class 9, so you have to go through with the entire chapter which are earlier discussed, and in this manner we have done the revision of some important chapter in history, in geography, and in political science, and in economics. Till then, take care. Goodbye.